Hi everybody, and welcome to this online seminar on training for harmonious running. I'm sure most of you, and especially the runners in this group, have heard of the three common running styles: heel strike, midfoot strike, and forefoot strike. And perhaps you know about the issues and problems of each of the running styles and the consideration in choosing the optimal running style for each individual. But there is a fourth running style, and it is fantastic. After the seminar, you will understand running better. You will learn how to train the body for harmonious running. You will run harmoniously. You will add studio content to teach your clients, and you will add studio value, which will give your clients something that many of them want, many of them need, and it is in their capability once they learn harmonious running. So let's get started and enjoy the seminar. Let's talk about the reasons to run. First of all, run is a love. I personally and many other people just enjoy running. It gives a great sensation to the body, to the mind, and actually lots of my ideas in life were digested while I was endorphin induced during long runs. So it is a personal issue for me and for lots of other people, and you can't take that away. People love running and people want to run. Many people who can't run, their fantasy is to run. And this is part of the reason why it was important for me to introduce harmonious running and this seminar. In general, people run because it's transportation. There's stories about the Kenyan children who run to school every day 5 kilometers there and back, and therefore they're such fantastic runners. It's a form of traditional fast transportation when you compare it to walking, of course. Okay, so if the option is walking or running, then walking is for slow transportation and running is for fast transportation. Interestingly, for long distances, like for tens of kilometers or miles, then people will walk. For short distances, like to go from this room to the other room, then people will walk. But for medium distances, people will, traditionally, that's what running is for, okay? If you've got something heavy to carry, you will not run, you will walk, okay? But running is, as far as nature is concerned, is one of our major forms of transportation. In modern times, running has also developed into a major sport where millions of people run daily, and you can see over here in the video that people choose to put on their running shoes and go for the run as a major sport. So, you know, it could be, okay, am I going to go cycling or kayaking or mountain climbing or running? So it's a major sporting category up there with the most important sports that people do today. But compared to lots of other sports, what we can say about running is that it's a divine creation. In other words, it wasn't designed by human engineers. So why is this significant? Because when you look at the sports of tennis or cycling that are designed by humans, then we have inherent flaws or engineering imperfections that we would not expect from a divine creation, whatever your beliefs are. So if a professional tennis player comes to me, and many have, with a bad shoulder, as a physical therapist, I have to be honest with that person and say, okay, look, the sport requires huge efforts on the shoulder, inhumane efforts on the shoulder. And, you know, as long as you will be a tennis player, you will have shoulder issues because that is the nature of the sport. And we can deal with it and we can help you win the next game. But ultimately, I would not recommend tennis or professional tennis for someone to fix their shoulders. Now, if you look at cycling, which is also human-made, human-invented, then we can see that it requires tight and short hip flexors, and it actually facilitates the forward head position. So once again, if a professional cyclist comes to me with a sore neck or back pain because of tight hips, then what can you do? I mean, really, they want to continue, they want to win the race, but because the flaws of the sport, there's a paradox over here between winning the race and between general health. Then when we talk about running, which I said before is a divine creation, what do I mean by that? We can't see any flaws. Once we run with good technique, it should not cause injury. We can see in the video here. There's nothing to say about it. So if a client or a patient comes to me with a sore knee or a sore back or a sore heel while they run, I can't tell them that the problem is with the sport. That's why this is such an important sport. So if they have heel pain or knee pain or back pain or any problem while running, then it is probably in the technique. And we can see that running is a sport or an activity which is riddled with injuries and riddled with confusion. And this seminar will attempt to, first of all, increase understanding about the different styles of running, because not everyone might be aware of them. Okay, I know that runners will know exactly what I'm talking about, but not everybody will be aware of the 3 different common styles of running. And there's a lot of confusion, because if you Google what's the best running style and open a YouTube tutorial, then they will not give you a definitive answer. Okay, they might explain this and that and compare them, maybe similar to what we will do, and maybe they'll give the same arguments. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is they'll say, look, each of the 3 styles has its own sets of issues. And at the end of the day, it depends on you. So this is fantastic. Of course, we're all individuals and we all have the right to choose. But is it logical that in a divine creation, there are different ways or different methods, or is it all designed for one way of using? So when we look at nature, we see that all the dogs run the same, all the cats run the same, all the cheetahs run the same. They don't have individual strategies. So from the holistic perspective, it is logical that all humans should run the same. That's why there really is a lot of confusion, and the result is that lots of people cannot run. They have pain, they have issues, they resort to walking, which walking is also fantastic, but why walk if you want to run and if you can run? And hopefully the introduction of harmonious running will allow lots and lots of people to enjoy the sport of running again and benefit from it without getting injured. And I personally, in my clinic, whoever has back pain, knee pain, ankle pain, anything lower body, I teach them how to walk harmoniously, which is another seminar, but then I teach them how to run harmoniously. And the magic of the divinity of running is that actually when you run harmoniously, you get rid of problems. Not only do you get rid of problems, but you strengthen the important elements that otherwise would be neglected. So it's got a short-term benefit and it has a long-term benefit, and we will talk all about that in this seminar, so don't go anywhere. The holistic view on running does not focus on winning the race or getting the best result in your city or club or country or world. Okay, really, that's not the issue. The issue is efficiency and injury prevention. Okay, and it all boils down to the land-in strategy. Let me explain. The force generation is what actually pushes the body forward in space. The force regeneration is the energy that the body gets back from the movement itself. Another issue is impact on the body, which of course is related to injury prevention. And the bottom line is that when you work on these things, then you have a chance of winning the race or getting the best result in your club or country. Another thing that really is important from the holistic view is to have a body which is fit for running. And it goes with everything, okay? You can say the same thing about you need a fit body for walking, you need a fit body for daily life, you know, bending, lifting, reaching. And that's true. This is the holistic view, right? So you do need a fit body. It's not that you run to get fit, but you do run to get fit. But on the other hand, you get fit to run. So it's not one against each other. It's not either one or the other. It's both of them. And only being fit on the one hand and running on the other hand is the winning combination. Now, let's talk about the three common running styles. They're characterized by a one-stage land-in strategy. What does that mean? They land actually on one point of the body, and then they spring the body off that one point. So, in general, we can see the videos above me. The big difference between the three styles, and we can also learn the difference from the names, because they all relate to the land-in, or to the strike. We spoke about that before. The land-in is critical because the land-in determines the style, it determines how much energy you regenerate from the land-in, and it also determines the impact on the body, which relates to injury.